Hey guys, this is Nair and Zaid with the Hammer Bros, and this is game 2 of my local friendly game stores tournament. As you can see here, I'm playing Wood Elves again, but an entirely different list. To the right there, he has 8 Great Eagles, Tree Man Ancient behind them, 2 units of Dryads, each with a Branch Wraith. I think there's something like 30 in there. And Durthalur behind them, the big Tree Man Lord character. To the left there are 6 Treekin and 1 more Treeman Ancient behind them. My deployment is helping on the right. Gunner Runners scouted in up there in the top right. Rat Dart, Slave Bunker. Or no, just Slaves. Slave Bunker. Storm Vermin, Slave Bunker. Rat Dart, and to the left of them is a Doom Wheel that I'm going to try and get into those Treekin. So, that's it. This is after movement, obviously. We go to my magic phase. In my magic phase, I Skitter Leap my Warp Block Engineer directly next to his Tree Man Ancient on the left there. He knows Crack's Call, so after Skitter Leaping him there and throwing 3 dice at Scorch and scorching some of those Dryads off on the top right unit there, I 6 dice Crack's Call, and it doesn't go off irresistibly, so it gets dispelled. During the shooting phase, I put a wound on the Great Eagle unit and a wound on the Tree Man Ancient from the Gutter Runners. On his turn, I activate the Storm Banner, so to make his Jazz Hands or his Bad Touch, whatever you want to call it, from his Tree Men a little bit more difficult, and to keep his Eagles from moving. So he turns like this on the left, and he turns like that on the right. This is before shooting and magic. His magic is inconsequential, and after his shooting, he panics my Gutter Runners with his vigorous Jazz Hands. And on the left-hand side, both of his Treemen go and they decide to kill that Warlock Engineer who knows Crack's Call. It was a bit of a risky play to throw him over there, but I figured, if I could get it off and get 2 of his Treemen, which, they were pretty close, it seemed likely, get just one of them to fail, it would make the game a lot easier. So we go to my turn 2. I rocket up my Hell Pit, as you can see, but I'm just out of range of those Great Eagles. As you can see on the left here, I hide my Gutter Runners behind that mountain, and I move my Doom Wheel up. You can just see it a little bit there. And I push forward with pretty much everything else, just, kind of trying to get him to charge me with those Dryads. Here's a picture of the Doom Wheel on the left. Picture of the Hell Pit on the right and the Gutter Runners rallying. During my magic phase, as you can see there in the upper right hand unit, I'm still working on those Dryads. I managed to scorch some of them off and get a Warp Lightning off. He dispels Scorch, and he does a few, and I get a good amount of wounds with Warp Lightning. So, Storm Banner is still raging, and it will for the next, spoiler alert, like 4 turns. It was a pretty good phase for the Storm Banner. Having nothing to do with his Great Eagles, he charges my Hell Pit Abomination, and I'm obviously very confident in that fight. He goes to touch my my Gutter Runners over here, and he does. As you can see with this blurry photo, he's erasing that unit. And that's exactly what happens. So, there's that. There's his formation on the left there. He has Earthblood on those Dryads on the right, on the left, and Flesh to Stone. On his charge on the right-hand side there, he does 1 wound to my Hell Pit, and I do 1 wound to him, and I make my Stubborn Break check. I got Flailing Fists and just couldn't hit very well, and I didn't even kill one of those Eagles. However, on my turn, I pop the Warlock out after charging with my Storm Vermin into that Tree Man. I hit that Tree Man, so that's pretty nice. Oh, I'm sorry. On the right here, I lost combat with my Hell Pit. That's right, because I didn't do any wounds to him. He charged me and dealt 2 to me, uh, and I fled. Good thing the Storm Banner was up, so he couldn't fly after me, and the Help had escaped and rallied. On the left-hand side here, the Doomwheel rallies. It had broken from Shrieking combat on the last turn. I don't do any wounds with my Warp Lightning because I get a 2, and that's what that looks like over there. So we go to after combat. After combat with his Ancient Treeman, I'm down a whole bunch of Storm Vermin, but I put a wound or 2 on him, just from various attacks and all that. On his turn, he charges with Durthalur, so that's what that looks like. He's keeping his Dryads in that Venom Thicket. He's very content to do that, and I mean, I can't argue with him. The magic phase is fairly inconsequential. He gets he's 2-dicing everything because he's not afraid of voiding himself or really getting 6 miscasts. I am, so he heals a wound off of Durthalur. Here's a view of just what my center looks like. On the left here, on his turn, he wipes up my Doom Wheel. It runs off the board. It loses combat. It's gone. He's staring down at my cannons now. In this combat in the middle here, I've reformed. After I lose, I accept a challenge from his Treeman Ancient with my Warlord, so they're locked in a challenge, and Durthalur is stomping my unit. I'm very slowly but steadily doing 1 or 2 wounds to that Treeman Ancient every time, so that's not too bad. On my turn, I charge with the Slaves and I charge with the Hell Pit into those Dryads. I hit with both. You can see how I reformed with that unit there, and I'm chaffing him up with my Warlock Engineer with those Dryads there. In the magic phase, I skip that. I shoot at his Treeman Ancient on the right there with both Warp Lightning Cannons. I hit and I wound with both, and he makes 2 6-up ward saves. Believe it or not, that t-shirt save does work, I guess. This is what combat looks like for the Storm Vermin. I've killed his big Treeman with my Warlord, and now Durthalur is just stomping the crap out of all of my Storm Vermin. We stick because we are leadership 9 right now and stubborn. As you can see on the right there, we get rid of those Dryads between the Hell Pit's attacks and the Skaven Slaves. We don't bother to chase them down because we obliterate the whole unit, and they reform like so. On his turn, he keeps his he moves his Treeman forward. He's going to hit that Warp Lightning Cannon. He charges his Treeman here into the rear of the Slaves, which I'm okay with. And the Dryads stay home. I think that he just wants to keep them there so they can have the poison attacks. As you can see, the Hell Pit took a bunch of wounds from the took 3 wounds from the Branch Wraiths and the normal attacks. So he's stuck with 1 wound left. So that's not very good, but there's not too much we can do there. We're going to go to my turn after this. I feed my champion to Durthalur in the Storm Vermin unit, so he's gone, and I feed my and I get stomped out by the big Treeman, but we hold because we're Skaven slaves. I turn my Hell Pit around and I charge into the Treeman. He's only got a couple wounds left, so I'm hoping to get him with impact hits, and I go first. I pop all my characters there from the center bunker from the center unit of slaves, that left-hand bunker there. I skip my magic phase again. I don't really have anything to shoot at with my Warp Lightning Cannons because they can't see those Dryads. So I shoot at the Treekin. I hit, and they make their 4-up regen save with both units. For 3 models, I direct hit with 1, yep, and then I bounce with the other. Ignore those. Here's my unit before. Here's my unit after. you can see that I'm missing my Warlord because, well, I accepted that challenge and I made none of my 4 board saves and he explodes. So that's a shame. My Storm Vermin, however, break and get run down. But the good news is he runs into my bunker. No, wait, that's not the good news. That's the bad news. The good news is, though, as you can see on the right-hand side here, I did kill that Tree Man Ancient. I hit him with my impact hits. I got something like 4 or 5, dealt him a couple wounds, and then I got Avalanche of Flesh and 1 slip through, and he was done. So what happens here is I feed Druthalu my unit champion. We're stuck on that fight, and I hold. He kills my Warp Lightning Cannon here. On my turn, I don't do anything because my Help Hit has 1 wound left, so it's not worth getting him those Poison Branch rates. I feed Druthalu Meek the Lackey, my MR3 token Warlock, and those Treekin on his turn charge the Warp Lightning Cannon and destroy it. So this game I end up winning by about 120 some odd points, so I get the win. I get 4 bonus points, one of which was not miscasting, so that was excellent. And yeah, so I'm going into game 3 now, 2-0 with 9 out of 10 bonus points, so I'm hoping to take this one home. Let's see how it goes. See you guys on the next one.